There is a truth, a profound reality that most of us desperately avoid confronting. Everything in this life, every single thing, is ultimately vulnerable. Money, status, friendships, even the people we hold dearest. What you clutch tightly in your hand today might slip away tomorrow. But there is one thing, a singular asset, that, if you know how to invest in it, no one can steal. No catastrophe can wipe clean, and no passage of time can truly erode. It is you, your intellect, your skills, your health, and the indomitable spirit you forge, day after relentless day. The bitter irony is that most of us dedicate our energy, our time, and our entire lives to enriching others, chasing after external, fragile mirages, while completely neglecting the most valuable, most enduring investment of all, ourselves. Have you ever witnessed someone who had it all, wealth, fame, crowds of admirers, only to lose everything after a single catastrophic event? Money vanished, reputation dissolved, friends turned their backs. Yet, if that person possessed true competence, inner strength, intellect, and health, they could still restart. They could rebuild, perhaps even stronger than before. Conversely, someone who only relied on luck, external connections, or circumstantial advantages becomes empty, bewildered, and has nothing left to hold on to when those things depart. Today, we talk about the one investment that carries no risk of loss, that cannot be swayed by market fluctuations, and is guaranteed to yield returns for a lifetime. It is the focused investment in yourself. Don't dismiss this as simple common sense. In reality, very few truly understand and practice it. People spend hundreds of thousands on a car that depreciates instantly, but begrudge spending a dime to learn a new skill. They splurge on fleeting entertainment but hesitate to invest in their health, in nourishing food, or a consistent exercise regimen. Investment in yourself is not a pretty slogan to hang on your wall. It is a continuous practical action that demands perseverance. Every book you read, every skill you master, every good habit you nurture, every lesson learned from failure. These are the solid bricks building your unshakable foundation. No one can steal the knowledge etched into your mind. No one can strip away the resilience forged over years of self-discipline. If you find it interesting and meaningful, please help me by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel to help me create more valuable videos. The tragedy is that we often only recognize this truth after suffering a great loss. When we are young, we believe time is infinite, health is a birthright, and opportunities will always wait. But then, one day, illness knocks. Opportunity passes. We see those who were once behind us suddenly surge ahead. We realize we invested in the wrong place. We poured capital into the external, neglecting the internal root, and when the root is weak, the tree cannot withstand the storm. Whether you are 20, 40, or 60, it is never too late to turn back, refocus, and cultivate that most priceless asset, you. For once you become strong, wise, and wealthy from the inside, you cease to fear loss. You know that even if everything is taken, you still have yourself, and that is enough to rebuild everything. If this message resonates with you, please subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you are doing to invest in yourself today. Transition to a historical example. A principle known to successful merchants, philosophers, and enlightened rulers of the Middle Ages remains profoundly true. Investment in self yields the greatest, most enduring, and most reliable return. All external achievements, castles, riches, fame, could be seized by war, disaster, or betrayal. But a mind that has been sharpened, a spirit tempered by years of training, and inner stability, these cannot be plundered. Consider Emperor Frederick II, often called the most learned man of the European Middle Ages. While other monarchs focused solely on expanding territory and hoarding gold, Frederick spent his time learning 8 languages, studying astronomy, philosophy, and medicine. This immense intellectual capital allowed him to rule not just by the sword, but by a foresight that transcended his era. His power flowed not from the throne, but from his wisdom, something his enemies could never destroy. The person with intellect, even if they lose everything, can rebuild. The person who relies only on the material loses everything when their possessions vanish. This is why investing in yourself is the wisest path. It makes you independent, autonomous, and free from total reliance on luck or the benevolence of others. In the medieval period, wealthy knights and traders often perished when war or market crashes hit. But those who quickly rose again shared a common trait. They possessed knowledge, essential skills, and relationships built on personal integrity, assets that could not be burned or stolen. The returns on self-investment may be invisible in the short term, but they are undeniable in the long run. It is like planting that oak tree. Initially, it is a tiny, unnoticed sapling. But with time, its roots run deep, its trunk grows tall, and its canopy provides shade for an entire area. When the storm arrives, the weak trees are torn down, but the deeply rooted oak stands firm, becoming a haven for those around it. The more a person learns, trains, and accumulates experience, the higher their value in the job market and in society. They are not easily replaced, nor are they pushed to the margin by a mere economic fluctuation. Many scholars and craftsmen displaced by war were highly valued by other nations simply because they carried skills and knowledge everywhere. That is the powerful passport of the self-investor. They can go anywhere, stand anywhere, and create value anywhere. They understand that fame and money are merely the fruit, but the self is the root. And when the root is strong, the branches, flowers, and fruit will naturally flourish. Today's modern world is no less volatile than the medieval age. Technology changes, careers vanish, and markets reverse. But something else is changing profoundly. Human relationships and trust. Relationships once thought solid can shatter like glass. Trust has become a luxury, something we weigh carefully before granting. This shift makes self-investment more critical than ever, not just for strength, but to protect our spirit from becoming callous in the face of indifference. When we are vulnerable, not everyone is willing to extend a hand. Some even avoid us, fearing entanglement. This realization is painful, but it can be an awakening. Instead of depending on external rescue, we must find ways to sustain ourselves. When we become stronger, we cease to be overly reliant on the goodwill of others. In a world where trust is fragile, investing in yourself is the foundation for independence and self-reliance. When you have knowledge, skill, and inner power, you are less hurt by coldness or betrayal. You can step through closed doors and pursue new opportunities without being trapped by sadness. Think of the carpenter who invested in his craft and his reputation for over 30 years. He was not overtly wealthy, but when the global crisis hit, many closed their shops while he continued to work peacefully. People who truly valued his skills still sought him out. His story shows that in a society where intentions are hard to read, our own inner stability is the safest refuge. Life, whether you are in your passionate 20s or experienced 60s, inevitably contains moments of devastating shock. A cherished project fails, a company dissolves, a marriage fractures, a loved one passes away. These shocks arrive unannounced, sparing no one. The first feeling is often bewilderment. You feel so small, so out of control. The world collapses. But it is within these darkest times that we have the chance to find a new light. The pain is real, but it is also a wake-up call. It forces us to stop, look inward, and realize how much we relied on external factors, on a job, a partner, relationships, that we foolishly believed would never change. When everything dissolves, we finally understand that the only thing we truly possess from start to finish is ourselves. 2 years later, she was transformed. She found a better job, kinder friends. She said the shock, however brutal, forced her out of her comfort zone. Without it, she would never have known how far she could go. Shocks, though harsh, are life's tailored lessons. You can let the wave drown you, or you can learn to surf it and ride to the open sea. Once you survive, you are no longer the same person. You are deeper, more resilient, and you truly understand the value of self-investment. Ultimately, life is a journey back to ourselves. From loss to joy, every experience leads us to the same realization. External things change and vanish, but our true value, our intellect, character, health, and soul, is the eternal asset. Like Newton, who humbly saw himself as a boy playing by the shore, picking up beautiful shells while the great ocean of truth lay undiscovered, we must maintain a state of constant learning, a readiness to embrace new knowledge, and a commitment to radiating positive energy. Instead of exhausting our energy on relationships or circumstances that do not nurture us, we must focus on cultivating our core. When you are strong within, every external storm is merely a test, not a life sentence. So apply this today. Dedicate at least 30 minutes daily to learning or training. Protect your mind from negativity. Choose company that inspires you. These are small, consistent steps leading to lasting change. Believe in your abilities, your intellect, and your value first and foremost. For once you trust yourself, no coldness from the world can ever make you fall. You are the investment. You are the return.